So you go way back with Darnay Holmes. I'm curious, like, how much was he in your ear once you became available, and then what is your relationship like with him, and how cool is it to be able to come full circle like this as two kids from the LA area?
Yeah, that's my guy. Knowing him from at Calabasas, he's from Pasadena area, so seeing him play, I played with one of his big homies, which is Kevon Seymour, and he always talked highly of him, and I went to go watch him play. So I was proud to see his success, even though he went, across town to UCLA to play. I always kept an eye on him and seen the things that he done, and he's been tremendous, coming out. So I'm just excited. And when he texted me, I didn't have the number saved, but I knew it was I seen the area code, and I'm like, this got to be Darnay. And so we was just chopping it up. And, he's a cool dude, down-to-earth dude, and you need people like that in your life.
And what did it mean to have all those guys pushing you to come here? I know Logan flew in from Florida, and you obviously have a relationship with him, but what did it mean to have all these players on the team currently contacting you like that?
It meant a lot, really, just to have people reach out and be able to pick their brains and see what they like, about the team and what they dislike maybe, but everybody spoke highly of it. So it was just great to have people, I guess, want me to come here. And, probably, get recruited. Some kids, in college, they probably shied away from that and didn't really want to recruit, but these guys was on it. Like I know Pep, Leonard hit me up. And so it's one of those things where I just felt good.
Bruce Beck, NBC.
Adoree, welcome to New York. What do you think of the football team you're joining, and what was the real reason that you ended up joining this team?
I just got to thank, the mayor and the Tisch family, foremost for appreciating me and wanting me, Gettleman and Coach Joe. It's just one of those things where just being able to talk to them, meet them face to face, and see what type of people they were, see how genuine they were, and the conversation that we had, which really played a factor in my decision. By far, the players can tell you one thing, but it's about meeting everybody, seeing them. That's why I wanted to take a visit, see body language, see how they act, and see if everything will match up from what I was hearing on the phone and seeing in person, and it did. So I just want to thank them again, for giving me this opportunity.
Patricia Traynor, Giants Country.
Hey, Adoree, welcome to New York. You mentioned before Logan Ryan and what it meant for him to come up to recruit you. I'm just wondering, what's it for you to be reunited with him? I mean, I'm guessing he's always been kind of like a big brother to you. So what does that mean for you to just kind of be back with him? And has he already kind of taken you under his wing again and gotten you, orientated to the team?
When I came out in 2017, that was the first time I was connected with him. And, I always text him all the time or tell him like how much I appreciate him, not just for what he does on the football field, but off just being a good person. And so I was just excited, fired up, because he was actually the first person that reached out as soon as he heard the rumors or the news about that I got released. And he's the first person to hit me up and just talking to me, see what's going on. And it's just a good feeling. It just shows you what type of guy he is, and just wanted to see how I was doing, personally. And not even talking football, just seeing and checking up on me, and just to be back, reunited playing football with him. I'm just excited, because he's a smart guy. He's a good guy. And I mean, I just speak highly of him because he did a lot for me, in Tennessee, and I'm just thankful for him.
And then just one follow-up, if I may.
Yes,
you had the injury last year, and, injuries tend to stunt a young guy's development. So I'm just wondering, what more do you feel that you can show people that you haven't been able to show because of the injury stunting that development?
I don't really view it as, stunting development. They always say the term a minor setback for a major comeback. As long as you stand mentally sharp and making sure you're on top of everything, you got to have your mind and your spirit all aligned. If those two are aligned, then it's easy for you to go out there and the physical aspects will follow. So for me, I'm just doing what I've been doing and staying the course. I always, Nipsey Hussle talk about it's a marathon and not a sprint. And for me, just staying on this marathon that I've been through, I experienced the highs and the lows, and just keep going, keep grinding, keep battling. I'm picking people's brains. I talked to Champ Bailey before, and everybody like Logan, Revis. So I'm just trying to make sure I pick the ones that I see and I want to implement my game. I have to pick their brain, just try to put little things in my game and try to get better.
Thank you.
Yes,
Pat Leonard, Daily News.
Hey, Adoree, we all know that you're a playmaker with the ball in your hands, going back to college and even, rookie year as a return man, but you haven't done a ton of it since your rookie season. I was wondering if the Giants talked to you about doing that as well as playing corner, and if that's something you want to do, or do you look at yourself more now as a straight corner defender and that's not part of your game anymore?
I'm just looking to do whatever, they asked me to do. It's one of those things where I was blessed and and fortunate to be presented this opportunity to come here and play. And I just remember my junior year in college, and Coach Shelton let me go run track all full off season, and then said when I come back to football, just do what I ask. And I feel like that same mindset, that same mentality, whatever's asked for me to do, don't just go out there play corner. I'll play corner. If they say I may return, or they just put me under the block for Peps out there returning, I'm a block for them. I just want to see the team succeed, and that's what I want to bring to the table, just a team aspect, and be a team player. Whatever I'm needed, just go out there and help.
Thanks, man.
Tina Carrasio, Fox 5.
Hi, Adoree. Welcome to New York. We keep asking you a lot about your relationship with Logan Ryan, because he sort of got that ball rolling when he posted the picture of the two of you guys out when he ran into you, quote, when he was out in the city. Take a look, if you could just take us a little bit into the conversations you did have with him about the Giants, about what really changed or had your mindset to come here, what you wanted to know about the Giants and say Patrick Graham in order to come play here.
Just I know Logan, he's gonna shoot it to you straight. No matter what, he won't sugarcoat anything. So to be able to just chop it up and talk to him about what he likes, and he said it's a first-class organization, and Logan been a lot of places, and for him to speak so highly, and just him keeping his word, I trust him. He'll tell me one thing, we on the field, I'm gonna listen to him and trust him, because I know he's not gonna put me in a situation to fail. And so that was the same thing when we were talking, when we were eating dinner. I know that if he's gonna say something, he won't try to put me in a situation that's gonna hinder me and hurt me, and he just wants the best for me. So that was how those conversations were going between us.
Jordan Raanan, ESPN.
Hey, Adoree, welcome, man. Take us through what a visit is like, and also in your words, I'm curious, what happened last year in Tennessee? There's a lot of people saying a lot of different things. I want to know, in your opinion, what was that season like for you? The
visit, in a sense, I guess it's kind of like being in college, getting recruited all over again. It was just me just going out there trying to meet all the coaches, talk to them, meet the ups and everybody down from there, just to see what's going on with the organization. And I felt like family, it felt like home, and it felt good. I always talked about trying to be comfortable and being at peace. And so that's what I felt when I was on there on a visit. And, last year, I think it was just a little adversity for me. I spoke before, I never been through adversity. And, God was fortunate enough to bless me all the way into the end. And I think it was just me just staying the course, staying focused, and keeping faith, and understanding that at the end, God will always prevail. And that's what I just did, and just try to remain, focused and keep faithful in my relationship with God, and understand that just a little hiccup in the road, a little bump, and, things will be all right in the end, and it ended up working out.
Art Stapleton, The Record.
Hey, Adoree, I'd tell you welcome, but I think everybody took care of that. In terms of what you bring, we've heard scouting reports, we've watched you on film. In your mind, I don't know if you had to sell yourself to the Giants a little bit, but if you have to sell yourself to Giants fans of what they're getting in you on the field, how do you fit into the secondary?
I just want to say, getting a team player, getting somebody that's going to be compatible, with what the guys want and what the coaches want. Just going to go out there and do his job, bring a lot of fun, try to bring some excitement. Because when you're out there having fun, playing ball, everybody's having fun and playing ball. So that's what I just want to bring, to the defense. Just a lot of fun, a lot of excitement, a lot of joy. Try to keep smiles on everybody's faces, because it's a season. You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs, but you're going to keep, progressing up this way. So for me, just trying to be that positive, person in people's ear, and just bring positivity, out to the team.
Thanks.
Tom Rock, Newsday.
Adoree, a lot of times a guy comes to a team and there's got to be a get to know you period with everybody. You guys all seem to know each other already. Is that going to help you on the field? And then if I know defensive backs, you guys are already kicking around nicknames for your group. What has any come up so far? I
seen a lot on Twitter, NYPD. I keep seeing everybody say that, the nicknames. But just being able to know a lot of people, it just makes you feel more comfortable. And it's easier to hold each other accountable, because you won't be shy to hurt somebody's feelings. They know how you act, you know how they act. It's able to be cohesive and not bump heads when you're out there. So to be able to just to learn, pick people's brains, and just compete. And that's the fun thing, knowing Pep. I like McKenzie's game, Logue, Darnay, Bradbury. So it's going to be just a bunch of competition out there amongst us out there on the back end. And, I'm just excited about that, to be able to know some guys and just feel like I'm not coming in new faces and got to introduce myself. Some people I do, but it's going to be a more comfortable feeling.
Ed Valentine, Big Blue View.
Hey, Adoree, I wanted to ask you really two things. I wanted to ask you what your previous relationship is with Leonard Williams, and I also wanted to know why you think New York is the right place for you, to take your game maybe to another level.
So with Leonard, I played with him 1 year at SC. He was a beast, diamond out there on the end, playing in the trenches. And our relationship is, we're cordial, like no of them, knowing we might text back and forth here or there, shoot a message here on DM. And, but he's just a good guy, just by knowing him, having him my freshman year, being able to see how he performed and how he competed and how he carried himself. And then just about bringing my play here, just talking to PG, Coach Rome, and just seeing, like I talked to Rome, he said, he had Darrell Revis his first 2 years, and just seeing how he can develop, talking to Bradbury, talking to Lowe, and they spoke highly of him. And so that's what I think that I was looking for. And, Coach Rome played the game, just what he was telling me about, hearing ins and out and everything about, him playing and what he's expecting, what he's looking for. I accepted it as a challenge and to come just to prove myself and compete.
Thank you.
Canizero, New York Post.
Hey, Adoree, can you speak? Darnay was one of the guys that was, touting his recruiting of you a little bit. What do you remember of him? And he was at a camp of yours, is that correct? And
so we was at the NFTC, the Nike opening. Well, not the NFTC, the Nike opening camp up in Oregon when they were doing it there. And I just remember him being in Calabasas. When he was coming out, I think that was junior going to senior and went to Calabasas. But I always heard a lot about him. I played both ways in high school, and I kept saying, like, this Darnay kid is the truth. So I actually went to go see him play, and I was like, yo, yeah, he's like that. And so it was just me wishing that I had that person in my ear just to be able to talk to and just to be around, just to, show him the ropes or whatever it may be if he had any questions, because I didn't really have that, when I was coming out, and I just always wanted to be that for somebody else. And, for him just to be as humble as he is, as nice as he is and genuine, to accept everything that I was trying to teach him and give him, as a cool kid, down to earth. And that's how our relationship actually started. Just hearing from him. And then I went to go watch him play. I actually typed his highlights up on YouTube and seen him. And I was like, yo, he's the truth. And it was just me trying to help him any way I could. But, he was going to be great regardless if I was trying to help him or not.
Just as an unrelated follow, if I could, the Jets obviously just brought in Corey Davis. And, what's your familiarity with him, which is a lot, obviously. And what's your opinion of him as a receiver?
That's my guy. I was excited for him last year, everything that he'd been through, and to be able to go out there and perform and compete and, go to New Jersey, New York, the Jets, and to be able to play and to get the opportunity to shine. And I'm just happy for him, really. Just knowing that we came out the same year, both in the same class, first round picks. So he's a guy, you see him out there, he's a dog, he's competing, run after the catch. He brings a lot to the table, and I'm excited to see what he does.
Thanks very much.
Yes, sir.
We'll take three more. Tom, Ryan, Matt, Tom Canavan, AP.
Adoree, this may sound stupid after all these questions, but do you prefer Adoree or AJ or what?
That's just by Adoree. I never really got into the initial AJ thing. I don't know why. I just like my name. If I if I had a different first name, I probably want something different. I probably would have called myself that. But I just like hearing my name. My mom calls me Sweet Pea, whatever it may be. A lot of people call me Deuce because I wore 2 at USC. But I'm open, to hear what, you guys got or see any suggestions and see what I like.
Now the real question. When you come to the Giants, are you coming here because a lot of people say it's money, it's friendships. Most guys will say, I want to win, but this team hasn't won in 10 years.
Well, I do want to win, and seeing, talking to Coach Judge and seeing what he did last year, and then understanding that I didn't been through that process, first year in, probably didn't go how you wanted, but having a foundation, being able to build on that foundation, having the guys around that I've talked to, saying that they understand, what he's looking for and what he wants, and just everybody be on the same page and being cohesive. That's the biggest thing. And having guys that compete and guys that are ball players like the Giants have, I'm just like, well, you want to be a part of that. You want to play with guys like that and be a part of that team.
Ryan Dunleavy, New York Post.
Adoree, have you played against Kenny Golladay?
I haven't. I actually liked his game when he was with the Lions. I actually seen him, play a couple of times. When my first game back, we played Detroit, but he wasn't out there. But I liked his game a lot and what he brings to the table. A gritty guy, and goes out there. He does his thing, and I play Madden, so I had him before on my team. So he did me justice. So Kenny, you watching this or you see this, you did me some justice out there on the Madden franchise.
Did his signing make it more appealing for you to come to the Giants? Like, hey, other free agents are coming here. I know you knew Logan and Jabril, but other big guys are coming here. Maybe I want to join the party kind of thing.
So I talked to Ross, that's my guy. I talked to him and he was like, yeah, come to New York. And when he said that, I didn't know which New York he was talking about. So I seen he signed. I said, okay. Then it was just funny. I was talking and I kept asking my mom for clarity and stuff. And then I seen Kenny was going around. I said, well, I wonder where Kenny's going to go. And so I was just chilling, waiting. The next thing I know, I seen he signed with the Giants. And I was like, well, that's a lot of clarity right there, to be able to go battle and compete against guys like that, in practice. So when it's the game time, it's like you can just go out there and play ball.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Last one here, Matt Lombardo, Fansided.
Hey, Adoree, two quick things for you. I was wondering in your conversations with Joe Judge, what kind of sold you on coming here? And there's so much talk about the culture that he's building. What's kind of been relayed to you about the culture of this team from the guys that you already knew that were here?
Well, what sold me was him just being straightforward and straight up. And it was, comfortable just being able to talk, to a coach, your head coach, just being comfortable and just talk face to face, may laugh here, laugh there, and to be able to kind of relate in a sense and understand each other. So that was one of the things that sold me. And about his culture that he's bringing, it's just something that you feel and and what you want to see. Like if I was a coach, I would have, want some of those similarities. So understanding that everything that he was saying was lining up with what I wanted to be as a player and what I wanted to do as a player and for the team aspect, it just made sense for me.